Hey, welcome, all my right thinkers. Thanks for tuning in. Check out your boy, P Farm Thinking right out here in my lab, and I'm in the book. Oh, I got a lesson for you today. We're gonna break down the philosophical philosophy on evil. Let's go. Right is I'm about to the teachers on duty, so get comfortable. I'm about to do what I do for you. Right is 25 rules to live by. Storytelling, story with a message. There's always a message in my stories for life. I give life lessons. You tune in and receive them. I hope they're working out for you. I appreciate you. We got a good thing going. Let's do what we do. Right thinking mission, excuse me, is to enlighten, inspire, educate, and motivate you, the individual, to a higher spiritual level of enlightenment. Right thinking is a way of life through mental and spiritual discipline practiced daily will help and guide you to attain your goal of reaching spiritual enlightenment, aka know thyself. My mission is that all right thinkers know thyself. If you're a right thinker, your goal is to know thyself. See where I'm going with this? Let's get it together. So I ask the question: do you know you? You will run through. That's what I do for you. It's rhetorical, whatever. You don't have to answer for yourself. Tune in. I got you. A person who knows not, that they know not is foolish. Disregard them. Don't be them. A person who knows not and knows that they know not is simple, but you can teach them. That's why I do what I do for you. I appreciate you too. Stay tuned. I got more for you. A person who knows not and believe and think that they know is dangerous, avoid them. I do. A person who knows and knows not that they know is spiritually asleep. I can awaken them. I'm the spiritual alarm clock here to wake you up with knowledge of self. That's what I do for you. A person who knows and knows that they know is wise. Follow them. All these persons reside in you. Right thinkers know thyself and to my eye be true. All right. Pre-form philosophy is on the philosophical philosophy on evil. Let's talk about it. Hopefully you get a better understanding of evil because it's double nonsense. It should be ego. But you stick with the evil. All right, let's go. On evil, it says, all things in creation, aka matter, physical, came from the original one. Everything comes from the original netter, God, whoever you want to call him, but the attributes is for the netter. He knows all, God, all, absolute, yeah, all of that. Netter, got it. All things were just one and undifferentiated, not divided into different objects with different names or forms. Everything was just there. So the netter has created what we know now to be matter, but also lives, there we go, in it as its soul. Right there. That tells you that every soul that's in the physical body is of God. So we are all God in the flesh, not just one person. Just want to get that out of the way. Let's move on. I'm teaching now. I'm not arguing, debating. I'm giving you information. And if you pay attention, you might can learn something. That's what I do. So just the soul is of God. We all have one. We all have something else that He gave us. Consciousness. That's where we differ from every individual. And this consciousness after death don't mean nothing. It's thrown out. You know, lesson too. But the idea, the soul of all of us is the same. We got to become conscious of that fact. So the soul, which is part of God, netter, it forgets it is God, netter, and it sees itself as an individual ego mindset among other individuals. Right there. Right there. That's when the separation starts for every individual. He thinks or she thinks for him or herself that they're, I gotta do this, I gotta do that. That's the ego mindset. That's natural, it's normal. Okay, don't no, we all do it. But in giving rise to matter, physicality, now netter, God has created the illusion of what? Duality. God don't need to pick and choose. He's perfect and divine, so he don't need duality. He's non-dual. That's why he's the one. Everything else comes in pairs. That's why I do this to represent Maya. That's the illusion of duality, and that means you have a choice. Every physical human being has a choice. Moving on, that's the concept. Hope you understand it. Now let's go. Where it at? Where the okay, duality. Okay, right here. Now it gives rise to matter. It's created the illusion of duality. That's Maya, showing you separation from itself. Just in the physical form. God is not physical. He creates physical form and he's inside it. That's the spirit that gives us life. Please understand that. I'm working hard for this one. But the illusion of separation, that's what gives rise to the feelings such as, you ready? Fear, greed, hatred, anger, all these satanic, egoistic concepts that we bring upon ourselves. Hence, fetters. With ignorance, this is what a fettered mind thinks and how it thinks. It becomes evil. The opposite of God is the devil. Opposite of good is evil. That's right. So because you, the individual, now believes he or she now fight or flight mode, must fight for his or her survival. That's the first level, bottom level. And since the individual does not remember that he or she is really spiritually immortal due to their ignorance and part of all other beings, meaning we're all connected to spirit, brothers and sisters of the same father, mother, whatever. But he or she now develops the idea of what looking out of self and having a good time, since you only live once. You only go this way once. So grab all you can and have the fun you can. No, get conscious of who you are and you will live forever. I take that option over the one you only live twice. You only live once and that's it. So, but again, with this ignorant imbalance in thought, you develop an ignorance about your own spiritual nature. That's because you don't know yourself. And that's why our ancients left us that phrase, know thyself. Find God. Damn everything up. No, God is what you're going to need to survive here in this situation you're going to be involved in. Man controls this. God controls the other realm. That's what you got to become conscious of. He gave you that to have the ability to do that. Animals don't do that. They can't. Some of us who got it don't. Ignorance is the root of all evil. You said money. No. Again, I'm teaching, not debating and arguing. Evil, ignorance is the root of all evil. So now I got to make that point clear. So let's go. I ain't done. I got a whole page of information, so let me do this, please. Netta is the absolute. In India, they call God absolute, the all, everything. Okay, which is the attributes for God, and they just express it that way. So the absolute reality, meaning the one, which lies beyond physical time and space. He's not here. We're here. He's here in us. But when this is over, we want to go join him in his realm, which is not in time and space. Understand that? Y'all call it heaven. Okay, but whatever. But the concept is the spirit is from God. It's on loan for every individual to have his or her experience and come on back home. You're here to learn. You're here to get educated, not to live forever. This is temporary. This is the classroom for human beings. Earth. Moving on. I ain't got time for that, but I can go far. But I'm trying not to do that. Just trying to keep the surface. Okay, let's go. I'm teaching. Where we at? Mm-hmm. So the net, he created the illusion, separation, and balance. Okay, the evil. All evil. The netter is the absolute reality, God, which lies beyond all things. We, again, are women. The netter is boundlessness, formlessness, timelessness. Again, all those qualities, it represents netter. So we are netter, matter, flesh. We exist because the netter, the spirit in us, sustains us through the qualities of our material existence in the physical body. Calm down. This is not elementary. This is upper level stuff. So if you low level, you might not understand this, but this is the goods. Let's go. So matter, which is physical here and now, the cross symbolizes time and space. Okay, that's what you get nailed to when you come into this physical thing, and Christ showed you that. Yeah, he took it. Okay, we all gonna take it. He ain't the only one. Anything that comes into this physical world is going to get crucified. Sorry, I want to start to preach about that. The cross is going to give you the idea about the cross. Plus, it's a male figure. It represents death. How about that? Moving on. But matter is subject to what? Existence within time and space. We deal with the elements, coldness, movement, solidification, and it's into a physical form, causing the human beings, intending to draw towards its original perfect state of equilibrium, meaning thought, left hemisphere, right hemisphere, equal thought, understanding, male and female gender, which existed before the apparent duality. As such, these are divine God principles, that empirical truths that God affect every physical object, including our human bodies. As above, so below, we are the universe in physical form. The primordial state of our true being, which when God was in his state of being, just being, nothing going on, just him being, is spirit, because the very same physical matter that gives us, that's given life by the spirit, listen, the fact that we owe its existence to the spirit. That's the higher concept. That's the God conscious gene that's worshiping something higher than yourself because you realize there's something here bigger and better than you. That's what got you here. And he gave you that conscious to do just that. And the spirit energy. But remember, God is what? Energy, soul, frequency, and vibration. When you see God, that's the spirit. That's the first part. And in order to have your worldly experience as a spiritual being coming to physical experience, two physical beings have to come together, have sex, and copulate, male, sperm, and female. Then you are created. That's what he made it for life, to what? Create, constantly create and create. So you talking about it's okay to man on man, woman on woman. No, it's not. That's against nature. But get past that. I keep saying it. It's male and female gender to order for you to create. Two opposites got to come together. Two likes is the cross. Death. Okay. So in order to have your worldly experience, we have to be born into the flesh. We have to come to earth, and that's how it's done. Our spirit projects or clothes itself in human bodies, physical body. The spirit needs a body. Body needs the spirit. Yin and the yang, they got to go together. But when one run out and one will, which is the body, the spirit goes on. The question, where will it go? Another body or go back home to its maker? That's a simple fact. Heaven. All right. But in so doing, your spirit, when it comes into human form, we're born as babies, we are born and forget that it is our spirit, and we identify with what? Our physical body, which composes of what? One's ego consciousness. And looking for fulfillment from an egoistic point of view, and you are led by your desires. Your spirit now is clothed in the physical body, matter, and it acts, watch this, ways which are accordance with the laws of matter. So it got to go with the flow. Suffer the consequences, the trials and tribulations of the physical body. Watch this. It had to follow laws of matter. But because it remains ignorant of itself, of the underlying spiritual reality, now the laws of matter, which originally were divine, become expressed as satanic and demonic behaviors. That's telling you that if you're not, when Adam and Eve was in the Garden of Eden, before they got conscious or knowledge of good and evil, they was pure. Okay, they was one with God. They didn't know they was naked. They didn't know they was male and female. They didn't have no worries, nothing. God had the divine consciousness over them. Once they got wind of what? Good and evil, dun 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 dun. Evil pretty much took over and cost them everything. Watch this. So, which ordinarily was divine, we start out as divine beings. Okay? We become what? Human, because we gain what? Knowledge. And that's the death knell for all ignorant people. Why? Because they don't really obtain knowledge or get it the way it's supposed to be. Some of them believe they have it and really don't. But they become expressed as satanic demonic behavior, fear, selfishness, vanity, hatred, passion, the endless thoughts of unfulfilling accumulation of objects and things, overindulgence in sexual pleasures. That's the human power, human error. He figured out pleasures of the flesh is what you want to do all the time. Now they got pills to keep your thing hard for 36 hours. Who the hell did I just stop? Keep that shit pissing me off. Nature got its way of doing things. I live under the natural order of things. I don't do the pill thing. Moving on. Get past that. All right. Now this is the best part right here. And in themselves, this is personal now. This is where evil dwells. In of every individual, themselves that here in time and space are evil. We are not born evil. However, when the spirit becomes identified with the limited concept, aka one's ego, here in time and space, now evil is the form of egoistical, self-centered behavior emerges. We become selfish beings. Me, I, looking out for number one, gotta get mine. That's the society in which we live in because we are ego-driven people. And that's how the ego emerges from early age. It ain't nothing, no. We start early. How to control and manipulate people from the crib. First 7 years, you just getting the ego primed and ready to go. And depending on which way you send it, that's where it's going. Okay. But it emerges. But this is the symbol for what? Time and space. And it is what? The cross. I told you. I try to explain it to you. Your spirit is symbolically crucified on the cross of what? Time and space. Jesus came here to help us out. We killed him, sent him back. Pop said, you gonna go back? Hell no. Would you? They gonna kill you. Anything that's born into this world, you're going to die physically. Understand that is the concept. And y'all hell bent on that concept. Move on. Man, that's just one concept. Jesus. Yeah. Y'all hell bent on that concept. And it's just one aspect. Moving on. But the spirit is symbolically crucified. I just told you that part in the physical form. That's why the spirit had to confine with the physical nature matter. But the passion of Jesus should be understood symbolically as the passion experienced by every soul, which comes into the physical form. Like I just told you, if you're born here, you're going to be crucified. That's what they're telling you. The task, therefore, in this world is to return to your primordial state, become conscious, and fulfill your spiritual lives. Take matter and spiritualize the matter, meaning becoming conscious of who you are in one's own body and conscious mind by identifying with our spiritual nature, higher self. Evil itself provides a road to realization of its own what? Wrongness. Its goal is to send you down the wrong road, and because all evil actions create consequences in the physical world, right there. That's karma. That's what I try to tell you. You reap what you sow. If you think you can perform an evil act and get away with it, that's what the eye is all about. Becoming conscious of your evil acts, knowing that if I perform that, I got to pay for that. Things that I don't want to pay for, I don't do. I used to be a drug dealer. I didn't mind either going to hell or going to jail. Meaning, if I got killed in the action, okay, that was my choice. But if I go to jail, I got a chance to what? To get out and change my life around. I did that 41 years ago. So, 42 years, excuse me. But now, my understanding of evil, I don't do the wrong thing. Oh, you perfect. No, I just know better. And I'm going to do better. If you knew better, you should do better. And when you have evil actions, they create consequences of what? Pain, suffering, and it leads to death. Ding, 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 ding. You won the jackpot. When you are egotistical and all you want is physical, material things, you will die. Which allow the superficial mental consciousness of the ego to now be awakened to its what? Deeper divine self if you raise your conscious level, if you study and learn and become a better person. That's what I did. And eventually, you will now discover true equilibrium. Maya. Where we are equilibrium, and it cannot find in the world of time and space. What you have here and here is not for here. No, it's going to continue in the next one. Why? The physical body is just a vehicle to get you them things together, and then you can move on. If these are not together, heart mind coherence don't happen, you don't get enlightened, you don't know yourself, you'll be back. Moving on. So the human form is the only way in which your consciousness can realize itself to be what? Both physical body and spiritual. Okay? At the same time. Individual. You're a dual being. Spirit and matter. Matter and spirit. And the way to realize one's spiritual nature, how? Is to hold the qualities of matter and spirit in the balance and the practice of Maya, aka right thinking, through virtuous and righteous actions such as offering selfless service, what I'm doing right now, and non-covetousness, I don't sleep around, egotistical, mythological manipulation of people, I don't do those things no more either. I used to, I have, I know about them, I don't do them no more. Again, and by crucifying what? Evil. Stretch his ass out. Okay, let him get it done. I just showed you the epilogue of that for the ego. I just gave it a listen. So this is going to be a good follow up on that one. Where what? Everybody came and took this. all the Haru four sons came and did work. Okay, another lesson, but that was a perfect example. Evil got to be dealt with harshly, not nice. No, harshly. Damn that. But no, when a person commit heinous crimes, you don't show them compassion. You don't show them. You deal with them harshly. That's punishment. Excuse me. Eye for an eye. You gouge out mine, I'm gonna gouge out yours. And if I can't, I'm gonna take both of them. Haru took Set's nuts. He said, I want the eye. I want the nuts. What you want? I want these nuts. All right. When there's a confrontation, when somebody takes something from you, if you're at war, you got to take something from them. Okay? You got to give it as much as receive it. And even in negative aspects, you got to be willing to pay the price. I will take you out and don't think twice about it if you're trying to take me out. That's survival. That's the first law of man. Okay? Self-preservation. All right. But evil will lead you down the wrongness because why? Evil actions will always lead to what? Consequences, and you never. They say the rule in the game. It's self-defeating when you get caught cheating. Why? You might not want to pay them dues. It could cost you your life in addition to 30 grand. Anybody know about my lessons in hustle convention? Know what that means? Okay, but which will allow you superficial and everything else. But eventually, you will discover what your equilibrium, and you cannot get in the physical world. Why? Because the human form. Oh, wait, I'm down here. Excuse me. Okay. Self-service. Okay. All right, this. Okay, so non-covetous, I cut out all my evil stuff, egoistic stuff. I cut that all out. I stopped doing it. Just stop. Okay, not winging myself. Slow. Just stop it. And by crucifying, set my ego, ideas, feelings, or intentions, when they arise in my mind, take care of that. Why? His job is to keep the ego thoughts out of my mind. I told you I use him to my benefit, and he does a good job. Okay. Ignorance, again, is the what? Oh, whoa. I missed the whole level. Excuse me. Evil. God's good. Meaning positive. You a punk, a bad guy always roughing up the good guy. Good guy finish last, all that nonsense. But evil goes positive out of his complacency. I'm content being me, doing me, until what? Somebody upset the apple cart, pissed me off. But you are complacent with your unto strength and your higher wisdom by what? Living, doing the right thing, and through the struggle that you overcome evil, you have to conquer your ego. You got to put it in check. If not, it will have you doing things that you might not really want to do. Therefore, there is really no such thing as good or evil. That's interesting. Good got to have evil. Why? Good by itself don't mean nothing. Evil by itself means nothing. They go together. Again, opposites to make the whole. So there are distinctions that's made by ignorant who are unaware of the interconnectedness of everything and the all and everyone in the universe, all being one. That's ignorant don't mean you're dumb, stupid. It just means you don't know something. Don't take ignorant as an insult. No, it's a state of mind that you might not know something. Then you're ignorant of it. Simple as that. Oh, you call me ignorant. I'm ignorant. Hell, we all ignorant to something. We don't know everything. God ain't ignorant at all. Why? He knows all. That's the concept. So through the struggle of what? Positive thinking, positive versus negative thinking. Haru versus Set. Your higher self against you. You can make it any way you want. Yin and the yang, giving and receiving. This is the great law of God, of duality. It dictates positive or negative consequences. That's karma. You reap what you sow according to the actions of the one handling the circumstances. You are the common denominator. If everywhere you go is a problem, is everywhere? No, it could be you. Again, I give you concepts. If you don't know nobody like that, go check the mirror. All right, I see the clock. Let me wrap it up with this. So this is going to be a two-parter. I see I got a whole other page of information. So let me get to this one part and I'll be right back. Ignorance. Again, we're dealing with evil. Ignorance is the root of all evil. So ignorance is the sure way to evil. You become a slave, you have diseases, and eventually it leads to death. Whereas self-knowledge and its correct application, using and living by it, will lead to good physical and spiritual health on earth and even beyond. They already knew that if you live right here, you're going to be rewarded with something else. And for those who are ignorant of that fact, that's your problem. Okay? And we have teachers, instructors, sages say, our job is to help you with that. That's all. You ain't guaranteed to learn it on your own. You ain't guaranteed to have it naturally. So you have to at least go and search for it. You got to at least aspire it. You got to at least want it. I'm only giving you what you aspire to look for. You got to tune in to get it. So I'm not doing nothing but using my platform to get my message out, and I'm comfortable with that. Moving on. Again, this is information that you can use. I'm telling you what you can do to better yourself. And what's this? The ignorance application of it. If you live right, they keep saying not just on earth, but beyond. What's the beyond? The ignorant don't know about the beyond. They can't see the beyond. They don't have the vision and the wherewithal to see past the now or the physical world. Okay, there's another world, afterlife. Therefore, armed with this understanding, with knowledge of self, one now stops wishing that evil or negativity did not exist. It's going to be there. You got a street. I'm going down the street. I got the house of ill repute over here. I got church over there. Where you going to spend your time? You can go in there and have pleasures and, you can go there and engage with spiritual love and people devoting to God and praying and living good. I'm going over there. At one time, man, I'm going here. As a matter of fact, I'm running the damn thing. That was his idea. But again, you have to let what is. It's going to be there. You have to make a choice. That's what Mayat tells you. House of repute, church, your choice. You can't go over here and thought you was over here. Moving on. Again, but that's existence. You got to have evil as well as you got good. It's in the world of balance. One understands, firstly, that in labeling something evil or negative, we are now making a judgment. And the judgment is based on our individual perception. And secondly, that they exist to show the way toward connectedness, justice, order, and righteousness. That's what Mayat represents. The good side, the divine. Everything divine, that's what Mayat represents. That's her side. Okay? Isfet got his side. Chaos. Moving on. Evil. Rather than for you to seek to learn the evil from the true direction and your destiny of thy divine by self, one can then appreciate that the universe is set up in a system wherein everything that comes into being in this physical world becomes dual. You have a dual identity. In so doing, each side, be it positive or negative, works with the other to complete the urge life, the other until greater and greater heights. If you want to be better, we call aspirants. We aspire to be our best self. I tell you, I'm practicing to be my best self daily. It's an ongoing job. That's why. And since the idea of the universe hold of creation, all is connected. All is connected. Good and evil. Well, God, why God just don't kill the devil? He created it. You become the devil when you go against God. As long as you want it with God, you're good. Moving on. And since you have free will, you're not obligated or you're not forced to devote yourself to God. That's what he's talking about. With God's chosen people. No, the people have to choose to follow God of their choice. Be it Islam, Judaism, whatever, the belief system. Okay? I'm a philosopher. I follow for the philosophical system. But it's all teaching you what? To know God. I don't care how you get to him. Don't care what you profess. I have my way, and there's a bunch of other ways. So understand that. I don't distract nobody's way. I just use mine. And since the idea of universe creation is all connected, good and evil, they are only terms that you use to denote what? Opposites. Good got to have an opposite bad. Joy got to have an opposite pain. So in creation, with no good or bad connotations, the idea of good and evil is only an illusion created by our own ignorant minds so that we may discern and to be able to differentiate, in effect, that we may be able to judge between the course of actions to thereby interact in time and space while here on earth to provide our own well-being. You can live right, you can live wrong. You have a choice. Your choice. But with every choice there comes what? Consequences. That's all you got to teach our young people. They do good, they get rewarded. You get your paper on the test score, the A on the refrigerator. Yeah, I can make the awards. When they do wrong, you whoop their ass. Make them feel bad. Punish them. Why? To tell them not do what they did. They got their ass whooped. Again, that's all. It's called life lessons. My best life lessons are ones I had to endure and live through for myself. No matter what somebody tried to tell me, didn't make a difference. So I tell you, no matter how good a teacher I think I may be, or guru, say whatever, but experience is always going to out teach me. I understand that. That's why I just give you advice about life, to be prepared for what you got to deal with. Not telling you what you're going to do or how to do. Just be prepared, and you know what to do for yourself. That's how it's done. In our usual context, negative, bad, is used to denote a bad experience. Yeah, again. So how often do we want to have that bad experience? Once we know after experiencing it is bad, how many times you got to do it? The fire is hot. Okay, I get it. Leave fire alone. Okay, it's bad. Okay. When you learn life lessons, that's what I'm giving you, so you can learn them. That way you can practice them and better yourself. Okay, so again, when you experience bad, while positive is used to denote that good, wonderful experience in life. We all want that. I might keep going. I'm not going to stop until I get done. I got another half a page of information. Roll with me. Let's go. So in this context, positive describes good, upward, forward movement, expansion of consciousness, learning life lessons and living by them, and progressing and bettering yourself in life. Jesus Christ in health. These are things that you have control over. Now, negative, wrong things then becomes the opposite of what? Complacency, contraction, and consciousness. Not following the universal laws. Your illness will lead to death, and death of the ignorant person leads to reincarnation. That's the order in a nutshell. And since we are, again, spiritual beings having a human experience, all our human situations that we encounter, which we are judged by, our egos as good as bad. Both. The ego says, I like this, I don't like that. If you satisfy the ego, you're going to have problems. The ego is a good servant, but a bad leader. So he should not be the one that's dictating what he likes and what he don't like for you. So you may be viewed as positive since what? They provide us with opportunities to perfect our daily practice of what? Self-control over one's ego. Discipline, spiritual disciplines, and learning and becoming wise in dealing with your life situation on a day-to-day basis, which evoke passion, anger, hatred, lust, or even elation and exuberance, depending on what your mindset is and depending on where your ego is at. This attitude towards life will only lead us to attain what? When you want to do better, purity of heart and spiritual enlightenment. That's the goal for right thinkers. The ordinary people, the regular people, I can't speak for them. Why? They ain't paying attention. So all I can do is get the ones who following me. I can help you. I have made, this is my ending right here. It says here, chapter 17 on line 39 and 42 of the Egyptian book of Coming Forth by Day. The idea of matter and its relationship to spirit and the purification process through righteous, virtuous living are explained when you, the initiate, speaks of the following. This is what you should be saying. I have made an end of my feelings, my emotions, my ego. I have removed my defects. All my flaws, character flaws, I have removed them. And what then is it? The separation of the corruptible matter, my ego. It is the initiate when you become into a right thinking philosophy. You will triumph before gods of all when you practice the philosophy and live by them. Now you have driven away are all your egoistic defects, all your character flaws, which belong to you. But now, what is this then? This is the purification on the day-to-day life with new birth, aka spiritual resurrection, spiritual enlightenment, the rebirth, or discovering oneself. That's the goal for all my right thinkers and follow my philosophy. You have to learn to defeat ego. Why? Because ego is the root to evil. If you are an evil person, you sneaky, deceitful, all those negative qualities that you think nobody know about because it's inside, God knows your heart. And if your heart is not pure with intentions, you're not purifying your heart will be heavy at judgment day. Trust me, that's the lesson. Hope you enjoyed it. I know it took a little long, but I hope I made my point. I'll be right back with what? Ooh, we getting good. Oh, the devil. Who else will follow evil? I got the devil, and then I'm going to hit you with steadfastness. Let's go. Right thinkers, hope you enjoyed the lesson. I'm having fun right now. I'll be right back in a second. I'm get my coffee and do my thing. Coffee, what down the line? I'm drinking tea. I got tea and got cold, but I'll be right back in the next lesson. In closing, may you all live to be 100. May 100 miles a day. So I know my right thinkers who now fully understand evil has passed away.